to do this side job. But to go, to go so far. Try painting a house for my people. Inside the house, they gonna pay me $200. So I start today, but I supposed to be able to clock my nigga no time. Time is that?
Good question. 202.
202. 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. You want to go there? Shut up.
Well, I was supposed to be doing a live today on how these Masonic temples in our neighborhoods be messing up our neighborhoods. I don't think I'm gonna get to that today though. Yeah, that was supposed to be one of my good conversations, but I don't think I'm gonna get to that.
How do you feel like that?
Hmm.
How do you feel like that?
What you mean?
How do you feel like that Masonic temples are messing up the neighborhood?
Well, with them, it goes. It's a long history with them. With them, it goes all the way back to the days of Solomon and the temple builders. And Solomon had struck a deal with a group of people from Tarshish, a guy by the name of Hyman and Hiram. Hiram. Later on down the line, when Solomon had passed away, these people, this group of people, you know what I mean, they went about continuing what they were doing in the world. And they became these secret organizations, mystics from the East, and like these mystic orders. And you had the Rosicrucians, the Knights Templars.
So, what deal did they strike with Solomon?
Well, Solomon was able to keep them in Solomon was building a temple for the Lord, and these people were master builders. This group of people were master builders. They were considered master builders of their times, and in all arts and crafts. Now, some speculate that they might have been the jinn that the Arabs speak of, because it was also mentioned that they came from Arabia. At the time, Arabia wasn't considered the Middle East. It was part of Persia,
Mm-hmm.
and their leader struck a deal, and they struck a deal for a land over there in the Middle East by Kabul, by Afghanistan, but they claim it's Afghanistan. I'm still in the thinking that that's the whole territory that encompasses Israel also, and their thing was they they had they assumed through the agreement and through certain interactions with the children of Israel, they assumed the identity or the likeness of that group. So the children of Israel, being the Africans at that time, they assumed they took on their identity, and their hatred for them grew because of their submission from Solomon and what Solomon had dictated to them. Now through the years, I'm skipping through a lot. These became what was known as the Pharisees and the Sadducees, if I'm not mistaken. So far, that's where, and even then, they used to move through secret council, and that's the manner in which they were able to get Jesus through secret indictments.
Mm-hmm.
The
So I'm
same
tired.
tool that they use on us to this day.
Yeah.
A council secretly meets
Mm-hmm.
and decides on your fate.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in these years, we're dealing with Masonic orders, and these groups, especially when they're in neighborhoods of children of Israel, of the black people, their mischief tends to their meetings and their plannings tend to tend to not be in our favor through like economic means, through like they use and manipulate these tools. So you got these legislators, you got these congressional people, you got these people that are in high positions. And I'm at the point right now, I believe a lot of our rappers have been recruited into that. So I believe even the messages that are being stated to us are coming across in that light. I believe even the messages that are being distributed by these so-called organizations and entities, corporations. Mind you, these group of people are not just regular people. These are not just regular people. These are masters that subscribe to what I would consider immortal alchemists. These are beings that are here amongst us that live very long lives. They may look like you, but they're not of you. And they live very long lives. And throughout the ages, they've instructed mankind. And they run these organizations, the Pentagon, these Congress, and all this. They're the ones that they're the guiding hand behind a lot of this, the secret hand. And they deal with codes and terminologies that are, unknown to us. So they talk in Jesus used to say, talking forked tongues. So in Islam, it tells you about the jinn, and it tells you how they move, and it also tells you that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also had meetings with them, and also imparted upon them knowledge. So then you have your other aspect, those beings that do believe in God, and they give you knowledge, like Wallace Dean Muhammad, who taught Elijah Muhammad, Malachi York, one of the great teachers who tried to establish a temple down in Atlanta. You have a lot of these so-called master teachers that are coming around every now and then to impart knowledge on man and keep man on the guided path. But you got these beings also that are here, and they're causing mischief. And when these organizations are in your neighborhood, they're meant to destroy your neighborhood, not build them up. And no meeting should be held in secret. No truth should be held in secret. So by the nature of the organization, it tells you that they're being clandestine. I guess that's the word that they use. Like they're moving in secrecy. For what reason? What intent do you have you having to walk in secret? So this history has been lost to us as a people, but yet and still, you're dealing with a group of people that's being guided by a group of people that has knowledge, but you don't. You're kept in the dark. You're kept ignorant. That's what the word nigga means. So, by definition, you are unaware. And when you hear these people talk, it's like a whole different language to you. When we walk in court, we're not realizing what's really being taken and what's really being spoken about us. Not realizing that we're still being shuttled over as stock and chattel through conversation and pen. And we're not really understanding how is this really happening to us, and not realizing that we have these groups that are in our communities right now, these people that serve these people on the behalf of these groups to our own demise. And they consider that to be like wise knowledge. No, that's not. The people should be free from harm. And we also have civil rights. We have not civil rights, because civil is government. We have rights imparted on us by the Lord. So at the end of the day, we've lost a lot of this, and we've learned to adapt to a society that in a mindset that's not ours.
Yeah.
For instance, I had a video where I spoke on, for medicine for them normally comes in the form of surgery. That's one of the aspects. That's a crazy train of thought. Instead of trying to heal the whole body, you're looking to just cut a piece off and salvage the rest. it really goes to show like you've carried that mentality into a lot of different arenas that you deal in, especially when it comes to people. Like, oh, okay, we just section them off and act like they're not even here, and we'll move on as a whole. That's crazy. You know, you're not thinking growth. You're not thinking togetherness. You're not thinking total healing. You know what I mean? The whole. You're thinking just that's barbarism. That's barbaric in thought. Even in how you move around in the world, like you consuming everything. You know what I mean? Like there's no tomorrow. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? We need to be more alert to the presence of what's in our environment and in our communities and what's keeping us from progressing. And these secret societies and these orders that are in our neighborhoods. Like when you go to black neighborhoods, you'll find a Masonic lodge, temple symbol there. Or even if you're not in a black neighborhood, if you're in their neighborhood, you'll see that all over the place, not understanding what that has to do with you. And it's very important, especially when it comes to economics, because economics is simply a term that means a transfer of wealth. So on that note, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna get back to y'all later on this.